They've won in the West and taken out the two biggest shows down south. But can Australia's best team prove their dominance at Queensland's toughest event? We followed James McFadden and Team Brady Racing as they took on Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Okay, tonight is my favorite race of the year. To me, this is the raciest track in the country, and we've got the best field that I think they've ever had for this race. This is the third running of what is meant to be the Red Hot Summer Shootout, but because it was meant to be run a few months ago, now we're in autumn, it's just the Red Hot Shootout. Awesome field. I think the best Australian sprint car field they've ever had here. James McFadden won last night. He hasn't been here for a few years. Comes in, turns up and wins. Pretty impressive. We saw really good runs from Matt Dumsney, who ran second. Lockie McHugh went 8th to 3rd. A few other things. There was plenty of biffing and barging throughout the field. Jock Goodyear, who's the defending champion, didn't finish. We saw Callum Williamson race here for the first time ever. He's from WA. Unfortunately, he didn't make the feature race. He's driving in a second Ryan Newton racing car. Ryan Newton, who's actually a pretty young kid who's a gasser. He's off to the States after this weekend, so excited to see how he finishes up his season. But right now, we are in the fan zone. I'm about to jump over and join the Clay Per View crew for a bit of a pre-show broadcast. But I think pretty soon here, Jock Goodyear is about to fly in with the trophy. We have finished up at the fan zone. That was a lot of fun. But right now, what I want to do for you guys is to follow a team around for the night, because we get a lot of comments and a lot of messages. Hey, why don't you follow teams around anymore? And we didn't want you guys to get sick of it. So let's go find a team that will let us put a camera on the car. Our process is pretty simple for finding who to put a camera on. Ask ourselves who our audience would want us to follow and see what they say. Do you mind if we put a camera on the car?
As long as he can't see it, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty pumped to put a camera on James's car. His new team is the hot thing within the sport right now, and he's always been really good to me. We've done a bunch of interviews over the years, but I've only had a camera on his car once, and that was for qualifying in Tulare, California with high limits last year. Oh yeah, and for his recent classic win celebration that went wrong. We got good news and bad news.
It's raining!
The bad news is that
it's rain dance.
The bad news is that it's raining, but the good news is that we do have cameras on a car, and I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's the A1, James McFadden. We'll be following him around for tonight, but everyone right now, I don't know if you can tell behind us, but it's raining pretty hard, and everyone is rushing to get cars inside their trailers because, yeah, the clouds are pretty dark. Hopefully it's gonna pass. See what happens. It continued to rain, the team's loaded up, and as you can see, I was a great help. Unfortunately, that was the end of the night. Just kidding, the show pushed on. Remember I said Jock was going to fly in with a trophy in a helicopter? Well, due to the rain, that was replaced with him waving from a buggy, which was just as spectacular, and the horses still did their thing for the anthem. Luckily, the rain passed, and before long, we were pushing out on track. Hayden loves the camera. About to go whole lapping. Here we go. While
While James spoke to Buzzy and then went to watch the other groups, I wanted to find out how this team got put together.
So at the moment we have Buzzy, which is the crew chief that everybody knows. We have GT, which is James's father-in-law. He's been with James ever since him and Zoe have been together. So, and at the moment we have Brock Kenny. Brock's new to the team. He's come to help us out through Gladstone and Toowoomba. And then we have Brooklyn, which is my young fella. He's been on the part of the team. Didn't even know what a sprint car was probably 12 months ago. But he's picked it up. He builds shocks with Buzz, and he works part-time for the race car team, and he's still at school he's finished off his year 12.
Was it up to you to put the team together?
I left it up to Buzzy, mate. Again, I trusted Buzzy in what he wanted to do and how he wanted to go about things. So I just let him pick his crew, and we had Brogan as well in the when Brogan was here for the first part. He works for Aaron Reitzel, and Brogan will more than likely be back next year as well.
While we were at it, I also noticed the team grinding their right rear tyre end. While we've shown it being done in other videos, I'm not sure we've ever asked why they do it.
Well, they seal over, that's all.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you just run, when they run hot, they run cold, they run hot, they don't fire off again. It's like when you put a brand new tyre, it normally fires off.
So you're getting like a fresh layer to the surface?
Yeah, so you just take a small layer off the top, not the thing fire off again. So it's a used tyre, so we don't normally run used tyres. But
And is there a certain way to grind the tyre to get out of it? What about the actual edges of the tyre? Do you have to do that?
no, what happens when it feathers it, you need to try and grind the feather off so it goes back to a flat surface. So yeah, everybody's got all different methods of preparing their tyres and grind their tyres.
Some people don't do it at all.
Some people don't do it at all. We haven't. That's the first time I've done it this weekend. Only because I got a used tyre on, so I figured we just grind it. I do need to fire off for the heat race, so we'll see how it goes. How'd you go?
Right, it's heat race time finally. What time is it? It's only 6:30, but because we're in April now, it gets dark so quickly. So he's off the front of this heat race because he's top points, and on a faster sort of track. I think it is starting to slicken off. I heard crew chief Kim Buswell tell James that. So I think still it's going to be fast enough where James get out in the lead there. He can get a feel for the race car. He's not just driving laps out there, even though he might not be racing side by side with anyone, but still needs a solid start. These heat races are all stacked, all four of them, so let's see how he does in this one.
Good luck, Jimmy. Get up, Tiger. Hang on, guys. Gotta stop here. Stop sign. Wait 3 seconds. 1 and 2 and there we go. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't. Fuck. We got that on camera? Yeah, we did get on camera. He said he was going to do that. No. I need to wear a harness on. Knock the fuel around, not me front seat out.
The night was going to plan so far, and as I mentioned in commentary, a dash race is a good chance to try some setup adjustments without risking too much. The cars were called up for the dash, but then eventually sent back to their trailers before then being called up again.
Alright, we actually are finally going out for the dashes. There was a bit of a pause. We were out for the dashes and then it rained and there was a wreck and they cancelled the dashes, so the teams got ready for the feature. They fueled their cars up, they changed setup, and then we got told, no, we're going to run the dashes again. So now they are pushing out for the dashes. James is off the front. It's going to be interesting to see how we go. It's only, it's not even 9 o'clock, so still got plenty of time. I think we're in for a really good ending to the night.
James's team did exactly what I mentioned, took a swing at car setup for the dash, and I tried to find out more.
Can you tell us what you're trying for the dash?
We tried a lot of stuff.
Why?
I don't know, we just some stuff that we talked about for the last couple of weeks and we never got a chance to do it. I figured we're pretty decent on points. I don't think we can be knocked off the front row on points anyway, so just something that we want to try. So, want to try it, so I guess we'll see what happens.
When you change things to try things for the setup, is that a note for this track, or just in general you write that stuff down for future? Hey, we know what that does to the car when we change it?
Yeah, it's just in general. So we did it, what we've done here, we used to do a little bit with the 5 car. And we're pretty good. But we just never got, every time we wanted to do it, whether it doesn't matter where we race this year, we won with what we had, so we never really tried it. So the last couple of weeks we've been talking about where we're going to try stuff, and then this has come up all the time. So anyway, we'll just try and see what happens. So hopefully, it's pretty decent, but I feel like it can always be better.
Despite changing the base of their setup, James looked pretty damn good in the dash. That has to give him a lot of confidence knowing that they can almost do no wrong, especially considering he told me this after winning the night before.
The crazy part is our car setup's the same as Perth, so our car's just good right now.
I think that goes to show how strong not only he is, but his relationship with Buzzy. Not many drivers and their crew chiefs are as in tune with each other as these two are.
Feature race time, the cars are about to push out onto the track. I just wanted to show you some of the track tonight. Because we've had a bit of rain and it's so much cooler, there's a little bit of wind. Wind dries it out, but it's like a cold wind, so it's not really helping the track too much. We want the track to go away. And you can see over here, hopefully the camera shows it a bit, but there is a bit of darkness there where we can see the track is slipping off. But down the bottom here is where the track is most tacky. And when I try and move my feet around, you can actually feel that it is quite tacky, and that's just not gonna really go away. So there's that slick part. It's really tacky down the bottom. Hopefully it widens up and gets slicker to the cushion, but we really want to see cars up around the top. So either way, I still think it's going to be a cracking feature race. You got Lockie and James off the very front, and hopefully we've got cameras on the winning car. Let's find out.
Alright, just calm your farm from all the hype for a second here because I want to show the most important part of this race. Firstly, notice the front two aren't rubbing wheels. Not only does that mean they respect each other, but they're both going for two completely different parts of the track. McFadden the bottom and McHugh the top. If anything, you can see that McFadden gets a slightly better launch because he's in front at the white line. But McHugh taking the longer way around means his car will be travelling at a faster speed. Roll into turn 1, and there's clearly a black slick line developing in the middle. That's drier than the other parts of the track, and it's slow. James commits to the bottom on entry, Lockie above the slick line. Into turn 2, James has now slid off of the bottom, not because it's faster than the top, but because it's faster than trying to hold the bottom. McHugh, meanwhile, is constantly carrying speed in a stickier part of the track. At this point, James could have slid up into Lockie's lane, but didn't. He gave him room at a time that, with James's experience, he would have known that it would be difficult to get back by Lockie during the race. And Lockie did his job too by using that narrow lane to run around James. So what does this all mean, right? Well, by half a lap of racing, McHugh has the speed, the momentum, and the lead. Not only that, but by the end of lap 1, McHugh has a bigger lead and James is now under threat from Veal in third. Alright, let's watch some racing. We didn't get too far before a few cars were already taken out of the race.
So we're 3 laps into the 35 lap feature. We've already seen 2 reds, both over here on the exit of turn number 4. Fortunately, it's already taken a few cars out, but the story of our night is James McFadden, the A1 behind me. He started off pole. We know they've mucked around with the car setup a fair bit, but it was Lockie McHugh who's won so much here. He started on the outside of the front row, took the lead straight away, and then on that restart, even though we've only got 1 lap in the books, Jamie Veal went by our car, James McFadden, and grabbed second. So James is back in third, still 32 laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see what they did with that car setup, whether that means it's going to bode well for the end of this race, or if they've actually probably gone too far and gone the wrong way, and who knows, he might struggle to hold on for a podium.
James ran third for a lot of the race before Veal got into the wall, which we caught a little bit of. He tried to make something work on the restart, but Lockie was too strong. The biggest wreck of the night came later when, right behind James, Ryan Newton got into the wall and flipped, and just a second later, Jock Goodyear did the same. In the end, James ran second to Lockie. He seemed visibly confused and a little bit let down to not finish the job in Toowoomba.
I feel like my car was unreal there. Like, I feel like I was faster than those 3, like, easily, but it just took me 10 laps to get my tyre going. Like, felt like I was on ice until I put a heat cycle through it, and it's like after 10 laps it just took off. So I don't know, like, we put a harder left rear on, which, you know, most people run.
How hard is it to chase someone down on that sort of a track?
Yeah, it's impossible to pass Lockie at that point until you get to traffic, and you know, we never really did. All the traffic was just running around the bottom, so it was kind of just a wide, like, honestly, mate, there was those last, probably before Vealy crashed there, I was wide open on the top, like wide open in 3 and 4, wide open here, just a little back pedal out of 3, and yeah, I just don't know why I couldn't get my tyres to fire, because once I did, my car was unreal. So
did you know you were on the back foot when he got the start?
Yeah, absolutely. Lockie at this place is, you know, is the top guy here. So yeah, I nearly spun it out for 3 laps in a row, and then Vealy passed me at the restarts, and like I just couldn't get going. And then, like I said, yeah, once I got it hot, it was good. So I just got to figure out why I did that, but like once I did get it rolling, it was badass. And you know, I felt in clean air I could still run him down. You're just not going to be able to slide him without going through his cockpit or, you know, hanging him out of the catch fence, which I guess a lot of people are willing to do. But you know, Lockie doesn't race me that way, and I don't race him that way. So I was never going to pull a slider that wasn't going to be there.
It's one thing to catch someone, but also another thing to pass them and get in front.
Basically, my plan was to try and get a nose to him to try and make him make a mistake. But every time we sort of felt like I got to his bumper, a yellow come out, or you know, we just start stretching back out a bit. So all in all, mate, I'm still happy. I'm just a bit puzzled why it took me so long to get him to fire. But
On that, just lastly, you guys made a lot of changes going into the dash and the feature.
Yeah.
Do you kind of regret that?
No, my car was great.
Yeah.
You know, last night we ran a softer left rear tyre and we just didn't think it was going to last.
Yeah.
And it would have. So, like, my tyres look really good. Everyone else has kind of got blisters on them. So, I feel like we're in the racetrack. We're doing the right thing. It just, I didn't get the start. I think that's game over right there. You know, you can't give Lockie that. You can't give Lockie that. You know, I've been in the opposite situation at the title and stuff.
I was going to say,
and then you put that in the other way, and
yeah,
it's just how it rolls, mate. I still think, you know, for as limited time as we've had here, we had a really good weekend.
Yeah, I'll see you at Gladstone.
We'll be there.